everyone, it's Shannon, aka QB Crossing. I hope you are having a wonderful day so far. Today we are going to be touring the most beautiful natural countryside island. This one has just transported me into a dream world and I cannot wait to show it to you guys, so let's just get right into it. So I also want to just note how cute their flag is with the mum sign. That's so adorable and I think it's really fitting for their island. So this is the island map. It is like a very natural countryside feel, but I love that there's a lot of structure with the paths, and you can see that through just how their map looks, and then also how they everything looks really organized with their waterscaping as well. So I can't wait to just really get a good look at this island. There's 2 resident reps and then lots of really cute villagers on this island. The dream address is on the screen, as well as the creator's socials, so be sure to check them out or visit this island yourself as we go or in your own time, because this is definitely going to be, I think, a favorite for a lot of us. But before we get into it, let's just take a quick second to thank today's sponsor. Thank you to Factor75 for sponsoring today's video. With Factor, you can skip the grocery store runs, prep work, and cooking fatigue, and instead get chef-crafted and healthy meals delivered straight to your door. There's over 35 meals to choose from each week, including keto, calorie smart, vegan, and veggie, plus snacks and juices. I specifically love the wellness shots to fuel my busy work days and help me to just feel good as I'm getting through the day. My husband and I love the convenience and variety that we get with Factor, especially during our really busy weeks. Having a nutritious meal that's ready to eat in 2 minutes or less is such a lifesaver. All you have to do is heat it, plus you can just feel good about what you're eating. The meals are always fresh, never frozen, and they are all dietitian approved, so you can feel good about what you're fueling your body with. If you want to try Factor and eliminate the hassle of prepping, cooking, or cleaning up, Factor is offering 50% off for my viewers by using my code and 20% off all future orders. Thank you to Factor and all of you for supporting my channel and giving me time to get back to what I love doing. Now let's get back to today's video. Okay, so we are back on the island and starting off really beautifully here at the entrance. I'm going to open up the camera so we can get a good view here, but I love that they've started with just this really big pumpkin farm. It's so beautiful. The colors are all really nice neutrals that are coming together, and the whites popping out as well. I love that we're getting this bridge and waterway right at the start, and we're also seeing some of these villager houses. All of the colors are just really cohesive and they work really, really nicely together. There's so many details here too, as you walk around, just seeing how they've curated some of these items, even putting that little open sign on the crate. I think it's a really nice touch as you enter into the island. So much beauty here, and even though it is a very natural island, they've added a lot of structure just with some of the items that they're using, some of the fencing, and I think it really helps just guide your eye a little bit more, which is really nice to see. As you come right over here, there is this really nice little bridge that leads you over to some of these villager houses over here. And you'll even notice within their waterways that they've added in these little bits of land. And I think that's really important just to kind of make the composition look a little bit more natural, to have those areas where the land is coming through. It breaks up the larger waterways that you have going throughout your island. So I think that's a really nice little touch that is always fun to add onto your own islands. So the simplicity of these little houses over here is just so well done with the wood planks that they're using, and then the placement of the weeds, the placement of the bike, and even down to the tree stump here. There's so much to learn just from this creator and their simplicity, how they bring these really natural islands to life. I love even the idea of using the little duck over here as well. That is so precious. It's really so cute. I usually go to the left when I start on islands, but we're already over here and I want to see what's going on here with this roadway. This is such an iconic layout over here. This is one of those moments where something just really looks like a painting. Seeing this really beautiful road coming through and then all of the flowers in the background. It's just such a gorgeous composition that they have going on all throughout here. I love this little white plank coat as well. I think that's really just so cute and well done also just all throughout here. And then these little areas to just sit and kind of have a cup of coffee over by the water is really nice. I mean, this is just such a beautiful layout over here. You can really feel how relaxing this island is. And I think it's really nice to get a very genuinely like natural island on here to tour, because I've been touring a lot of like mixes of like natural and structured, but this one really just feels like a true countryside. Like it's just such gorgeous layouts all throughout here, like even just filling up that whole area with flowers, and they're all just white flowers, those white tulips, and it works so well. Then this kind of leads over to this really pretty diagonal pathing and neighborhood that they have. So if we open this up, I mean, everywhere that you look, everywhere that you open your camera is just so photogenic. It again has that painting feel to it, that this feels like something, like everything on this island just feels like a piece of art. I love it so much. I feel like this is definitely going to be one of my like go-to islands for inspiration. Even just down to their beaches, everything is so natural and it's just perfectly decorated. There's not too much, it's not too cluttered. I really just enjoy everything about this so far. This is their little peninsula. It's super cute, really overgrown with the bistro table over here. And then there's even some of these little cute seating areas. Oh my gosh, I adore using these little lawn chairs over here. I feel like they're a very underused item. I personally never think to use them, but it's so charming. Coming back around over here, behind these like villager houses, there's Able Sisters over there, which we'll go to in a minute, but I just want to see more of this little like flower walkway over here, this really nice meadow that's happening, and then the other side of this road as well, which is really pretty. I keep getting distracted because there's so many things I want to see on this island, but don't worry, we will get to every little area throughout here. Like, look at this as well. I love the way that they're mixing the different codes, so everything feels really new and exciting, but yet it all still feels very cohesive with their island. Like, they're using two different styles of road here, like the dirt road and then this more like concrete, more traditional road, which is really cool to kind of see how they paired those together and how they transition to different parts of the island. I think let's just go up here because I saw this little ladder and I'm curious what's going on over here. So I'm gonna just pan up a little bit too. I love how they're using those outdoor stalls to really kind of transport you to a new part of the island or a new area. It definitely feels like you're entering into like another little village or section of the island. And all of these different connector ways that they have, where it's like these little bridges, it really works very nicely, and it's really fun to walk around this island, just the way that they've broken it up and laid everything out. I think maybe this leads over to their secret beach. Is that? No, okay, it's not the secret beach. That totally fooled me because this feels like a entryway to a secret beach, but they actually just have that like sand pathing down there. So this actually looks like it's leading us to more of like a fishing village section of the island, which makes a ton of sense for this countryside island to have an area like this, a larger lake area, and then having the yacht really as a centerpiece there works really nicely. And I haven't really seen someone do this exact layout, so I think this is really cool if you're looking for other ways to just design around a lake on your island. This is really pretty. Also, all of these little fishing, I forgot what they're called. I don't know, the fishing like cage type of thing looks really nice here throughout as well. More little seating areas also. It's really nice to be able to just decorate around the little lake area here as well. So that's a really nice simple way to achieve some more decoration around this like border of the lake. And another really cute walkway over here to their campsite. It's right at the back of their island behind the lake, which is a really good spot for it. I think having it back here, you get that really nice view of the water at the back of your island as well. And maybe their secret beach is over here. That's what I'm thinking, maybe. Oh my gosh, I keep thinking that I'm finding the secret beach and none of these areas are the secret beach. But you know what? It's okay. I love it. I love this. Let's see, I'm gonna continue around over this way. And okay, so we've entered into another part of the island where there's like this little road walkway here, and maybe I'll start from like a little farther back so we could get a better idea. We could have basically come through this way instead, where we went to the campsite. You can also get there this way and just jump over the lake area over here. And look at how beautiful. So there's actually this little villager house over here. And this is interesting. I've never seen anyone kind of include their museum in one of their little neighborhood areas. So this is really cool. I can say for sure that I have never seen this done. And it really does help make your museum feel a little bit more natural on your island. It feels, I don't know, it just kind of works really nicely. So really cool idea for the museum and placement for that. If you're currently struggling with your museum, maybe you can try something like this, adding in some more of the houses that fit your own island aesthetic. Really just so beautiful throughout here. Everything that they've done, just decorating around here, having like that little museum sign in the front, and then some of the statues, but again, keeping this very natural and overgrown to fit with the rest of their island. So if we continued back on this road over here, I think now, if I'm not mistaken, we have finally reached the secret beach, which for some reason I keep trying to find on this island. But this is a really cool way to lead to your secret beach, especially with their island, like using this road to get over there. It feels very on brand with this overall island theme. I like that they've really filled in both sides with the outdoor stalls as well, which just, if it's so fitting for this island. I think now let's continue over this way because I'm curious just what else was over here in this little section, if there was anything over to the back that we didn't get to yet, which I know there's still a lot that we have to see, but we've somehow made it all the way to the left side of the island now. You know, we're kind of like flip-flopping around over here, but it's really easy to just get lost and explore this island in whichever way you see fit. But since they have so many paths on this island, it's really easy to like direct yourself around and figure out where you're going, how things are placed. So I really like islands like this that kind of leave it more up to you on the directions that you want to take. There's this cute little lake over here by some of the villager houses as well. And then over to the left, there's just some little details over here on the beach, all really thoughtful and well done. I really also enjoy that they have all of that fencing towards the back of the island. I think it's a really nice way to just kind of ground the overall like back portion of your island, kind of make everything feel contained. If we come up over this way, so again, I love the way that they're connecting all of these little waterways throughout their island. It once again just helps with that cohesiveness that they have all throughout here. And look at another meadow over here. I absolutely adore this. This is so pretty. And then look at the views that you can get when you just open this camera up. Again, everywhere that you go, anywhere, like I said, that you open up your camera, it looks like an actual painting. This is so nice. And I feel like there's so many different ways and views that you can like kind of play around with when you're on this island. Lots of great inspiration just for compositions and layouts in general. Like this is very symmetrical, but it actually still feels so natural just because of the way that they're decorating, the codes that they're using, they're terraforming, all of that. It's really just so beautiful. And again, like honestly, this whole thing is just one big chef's kiss. Look at this throughout here. Again, like the symmetry is coming through, but it's really nicely mixed and paired with all these more natural like paths and elements coming through here, using the scattered papers as well as a way to just fill in some of these like little walkways that maybe would have felt a little bit bare without. It's a really fun way to do that if you're looking for other items to maybe use for pathways. And then coming through this way again, like I'm just going to open up the camera one more time because there's so many nice little waterscaping moments throughout here also. Everything just kind of feels like you're almost like on a dock in a way. I would definitely say maybe this is like a farming village as well because of all of the water and the way that they've done the waterscaping. So it's a really nice mix of like farm core, countryside, cottage core. There's just so many great elements all throughout here. Really pretty again with all of the flowers in the background. It just goes to show you don't need to have a ton of different like areas that are super decorated or designed. Like even just adding in these filler areas with flowers adds so much to the island and works really nicely. Honestly, for any theme, it doesn't have to just be for natural islands. I don't know if I can jump over this way. Okay, we can. Great. So we've now made it up to this little area on the island. I don't know if this is like a rooftop area maybe, but the different types of fencing that they're using all throughout is really interesting too. This is the log fencing, I think. I never think to use this one, but I really like how kind of like bold and almost like bulky it is. It really adds a lot of like density to the island. And then we have this really pretty view, which is cool that they've added in these like terraformed areas and cliff areas where you can get different views, different levels of the island as well. Coming all throughout here, just tons of detail, places to sit all throughout, lots of places to have coffee on this island. So it's a very relaxing vibe all throughout here. Feels very zen and serene. I really would just love to take a little vacation to this island. If we come up this way, this is just another view of kind of like how you would enter in this area. It's really pretty. And then look at this. So nice. Again, I know we looked at this view before, but every time I see it, I just love to see those little houses in the distance. And coming back down this way, this ladder also works really nicely for natural islands because it blends into that cliff really well. But it's still really obvious that there is a ladder there. This is so cool as well. I like that they've added in these gazebos, which I wouldn't have like traditionally have thought to maybe use as much, especially in like the white color on this island. But bringing in these white tones really brightens up the overall island as well. And there's some really pretty terraforming and waterscaping. Oops, I hate when I click the wrong button and I get those filters on the camera. But the waterscaping and the waterfalls all throughout here are really nice as well. Just so much detail and work definitely went into the overall layout of their island. So I think there's a lot of inspiration here just around flow. I know that's something that a lot of us struggle with, is just you create a really beautiful area on your island, but then how do you connect it to the rest of your island? How do you keep that flow going? So I think my advice for that is just to visit tons of dream addresses, see how other people are connecting their areas, and try to get some inspiration from some of these transition areas and ways of designing throughout there. So coming over this way as well, again, a really nice transition between these two areas. This more like natural area to the left, and then it's still natural over here, but it has a slightly different vibe, like having Nook's cranny over here, so more of this structure, some different pathing going on as well. And then coming up this way, oh, this is actually to the left of the entrance. So this is how you get over here to this section of the island, this little area for Nook's cranny. And then look at this really cute, simple decor all over here on their beach. And it's also cool just to see, you know, this view of the bridge from over here as well. It's a really interesting like waterscaping design that they did there. And I think it looks really, really beautiful. Just kind of being so close to the edge of the land as well. I'm going to continue around here just so we can kind of see what these views looked like, what other ways you can get to this part of the island as well. But that was the more like left side of the island. So let's see how we would get back over. I want to get over closer to the middle of the island, and then there's still a lot of areas that we've missed. I still want to look at the resident rep houses as well. So maybe what we'll do is actually come up this way again and wrap our way like back around. Okay, so I'm back over here behind resident services now. I'm going to take a pit stop at resident services because I just wanted to note that they do have a bunch of creator codes and designs that they have. So I'm just going to pop those up on the screen. If there's anything you want to download, or just grab their creator code for later, but they have really done it all, not just designing a gorgeous island, but also being able to design a lot of their own codes, which is really, really impressive. I personally have never gotten into like creating codes on my own island, so I'm always really blown away when creators are able to do both of that. So back over here behind resident services, there's actually this little walkway that leads over to the two resident rep houses. Again, we're seeing a lot of that symmetry from them, which I think is really so satisfying to look at, especially, like I said, mixed with the more natural elements of this island. I am going to go in both of the houses because they're decorated, but I just want to see first kind of how they've decorated around. So we have more of this really beautiful waterscaping throughout here, really great terraforming as well. And then behind the houses, it looks like this leads to this kind of wheat fields. Oh, this is so cool because we're getting a different view of the campsite now and a different way that you could potentially get here. We went from the right side of the island before, but I mean, that is just stunning. And all of the colors that they're using work harmoniously together, and it's really hard to pull that off in this game, like finding the right shades and hues of items and natural elements that all just really work perfectly together, and they've done a really good job. So let's go first into the left house and see what's in here. So this is definitely a very charming little like kind of cottagey interior. I really like all of the different codes that they're using on their furniture to keep everything cohesive. And then it's very simple. We have like the ranch kitchen over there, but the way that they've broken up this room with the walls is really nice. I actually think that this room was one of the hardest to decorate because it's pretty big in size, but then you also want to keep the other like doors to the other rooms open. So I really like how they've laid it out and actually created this little like hallway over here also, which I've never thought to do. Over to the left here, we have the bathroom, and again, they're doing a really great job at keeping all of these rooms really cohesive. So this one has this kind of darker wood and then the white tile, and that's coming through with all of the patterns in here as well. And again, we're seeing how nicely that they section out these rooms with the walls. I love how they've actually created like a full bathroom over here, and it feels really secluded because of the way that they're using the walls. And then lots of cute touches, just like the little slippers on the floor as well. There's so much detail that just went into this one bathroom. So this room in the back is super charming. It's just so cute. This is definitely like the main bedroom, and I love this. I love the dark furniture being used in here, like offset with the kind of colder walls. It really just feels very warm and inviting. There's even like a little kitchen area. This room actually gives me more of like a hotel vibe just because it has this like kitchen in here also. I really love this one. So many great ideas for interiors throughout here. And again, the way that they're breaking up the rooms, so well done. The room over here to the right is really interesting. It has a much more like industrial feel to it. It almost looks like they created these like different studios within this one house with all different aesthetics. And I think that's really cool to just kind of like play around. Like you don't have to have the same theme throughout your entire house. So I really like how we can see their take on all of these different kind of like interior themes. Upstairs here, we have more of almost like a communal space, it feels like, because there's two of the beds over here, but everything's super organized. I love how they kind of place the shoes up on the wall and the hat, even all the little shoe boxes. So much interior inspiration from this. It's always fun to get to see interiors when creators have done both because it's just a different way of designing and getting inspiration. So down here on the bottom level, this is really sweet as well. Just a really cute little like office area and a little kitchen. I don't actually, why did I say kitchen? This is like a little getting ready space, and it's really kind of immersive, like walk-in closet. This is really grand, actually. Imagine having that like set up for your closet or like little getting ready space. I would love that. So now let's go check out the house to the right. Okay, so this interior over here is a lot darker, it's a lot more modern, and it's really interesting again to see their different takes on, they've done like pretty much every aesthetic in their interiors, and it's so cool that they're good at literally every single type of interior aesthetic that you can think of. This is really so beautiful. I love that little kind of like kitchen nook as well, and using the castle walls is really like cool idea that I wouldn't have thought to do in any of my interiors. This back room here is more of just like a simple bedroom. It's really pretty how they've set this up. And I really like that little area in the back where they have the plants and the bike as well. They just really, once again, know how to section out these rooms really nicely and make the most use out of the space. This room to the left is like a little bit of a mix of a office area and then just like a sleeping area. This again, it's a really small room that they've made amazing use of the space and somehow still feels so airy. Like they have so many different sections within this tiny room, but they've still made it feel very like organized and neat, and I think that's really hard to do. And then this room over here to the right is a really cute kind of, I would say like living kitchen area almost. Like there's a place to kind of sit and have your coffee. And then also there is this little like, I guess couch back here. It's a very small space, but I mean, if you want like a little nap area, I feel like that would be just perfect. So upstairs here, I think this is my favorite room so far because I love what they've done with the wallpaper codes that they're using. It feels like a little jungle out here coming in through the windows. Really beautiful like kitchen space over to the left and a little dining area. Just so beautiful. I really also like how they've incorporated all of the little potted plants. So there's like even a little garden mixed in. So there's a lot of greenery coming through with the wallpaper and then just some of the design decisions. And I just love this layout so much. And then down here in the basement, it looks like they did something very similar, but a different sort of wallpaper back here. But I love that they have brought in this kind of like additional like layer into these spaces by using these wallpapers, giving you just another kind of like look out into what could be outside over here, which just adds, like I said, another layer to these interior spaces. So really great layout for just kind of some of these like seating areas. It almost looks like this area is actually like a little porch because of that wallpaper back there that's like looking outside. And then the little bedroom area over to the left. Really just so beautifully laid out. We are back on the island now. Let's see what else we may have missed. I want to just do a loop around because I think we may have missed a couple of areas on the island. So I know that we saw the campsite over here, but I'm going to wrap back around over to the right and see if we had missed anything over this way, because I think that there were still Able Sisters that we didn't get to see yet. And then yeah, this whole little area over here with this beautiful terraforming. Like look at that, and look at all their lily of the valleys. Of course this is a 5-star island, but great inspiration for terraforming if you're looking for any. I think having some nice terraforming moments on a natural island is really important. I love terraforming, so this just speaks to me. I think it's so beautiful, and I love how playful this is when you have the little areas like carved out into the water. Being able to jump through there is really nice. And then having this waterfall placed here is really cool because it creates this almost like infinity pool feel because the water looks like it's like just going right into the ocean. It's a really cool design decision that they made over there. Let's continue to go back down this way and check out what else is going on over to this side. So this is where Able Sisters is that we didn't get to see before. This is really off to the right side of the island, and we're seeing, again, I really like, so you can see here the kind of transition from the dirt to then this like kind of worn away white tile and then the white planking. It feels like a really cool transition for the pathing there. And then lots of great detail all throughout the beach as well. There's more waterscaping over here to the right, and so many great like design decisions have been made throughout here. So there's so many things you could just take inspiration from with this island, even just down to what kind of items they're curating and using. Even these little areas, like these little pockets that you may not have like even walked around into, are really nicely thought out and designed. They have a little seating area with them. Here's a couple other villager houses, which I think that we did see when we were over here before. Yeah, because this was where this really pretty diagonal garden was. And we went up, I believe, on this incline before because I remember going up here, but let me just double check. Yes, that was where that led into that little like fishing village area. So let's continue up this way and like wrap back around, make sure that we didn't miss anything else throughout here because there was really so much detail going on that it's really easy to just like get lost and enjoy where you are on this island. So there's another villager house up here towards like the front right side of the island. And I really like if we kind of like back up a little bit, you can see just some more of that waterscaping that they've done. Everything is just giving me so much layout inspiration. I know I've said it a few times, but they really just have a way with like laying out their path codes, laying out where their houses go as well, and their waterscaping placement, which I think is really hard, having good waterscaping moments throughout your island. And then one of these villagers must be like really into fishing because they are right by the pier. This is a really cool idea to have one of your villagers have like a little beach house, put them right by the pier. It's a really just cute little idea for any of your villagers, really. So I'm gonna come back up this way, and I think I'm gonna jump over these guys. So we have this little like pumpkin farm over here, and again, look at this. I didn't see this area before. Look, oh my gosh, this is so satisfying. These different green and white pumpkin farms, and then they're looking out onto that gorgeous like little villager's house over there that probably like runs this little farm. So nice. I was even just taking a little quick nap on the hay bale. I love the symmetry throughout here also. It just is like, again, very satisfying all throughout here to look at, and the little streams of water coming through it's so beautiful. This is such a great idea for your island, and you can really see something like this coming together like anywhere on your island. I think it's always a good idea to have some sort of farm. You can never go wrong with like a big farm, a big lake, a flower field. There's just so many fun ideas for natural islands. I think that's why I love creating natural islands so much, because I think this game just has so many great things to pull from, like just with the flower types or the tree types that you're using. And then a lot of the items that we have just work really nicely with natural islands. But I do think that we may have seen everything on this island. I absolutely adore this one. I think I said it before, but this is one of my favorites. I will definitely be coming back here. Definitely go check out this dream address on your own if you want to see more, just to get to run around it yourself. Let me know what else you guys would like to see next. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!